Welcome, Bottomline chat. My name is Emerson, and we're going to be talking about the WWE pay-per-view Backlash 2017. I'm going to go over some of the matches that took place that night, and we're going to see my thoughts on it, and then I want your feedback and tell me what you thought of the pay-per-view and its matches. So the first match was Ty Dillinger defeating Adian English. I thought those two guys were really good in what they did. Didn't quite get the whole entrance that English did, coming down, kind of singing, no music. It was kind of bland. Don't really understand why he is doing it that way. If anyone seems to know what that's all about, please let me know. I'm curious to know why his approach on that. But it was a good back and forth match. These guys are obviously up and comers, both coming from NXT, so they're still trying to pave their path in their careers. But like I said, I think it was a good match, especially for a kickoff match. I thought it was entertaining. So it was a overall very good match in my opinion. So then the second match would have been Nakamura going up against Dolph Ziggler, where Nakamura won. I thought that was a great match. It was a great way to kick off Backlash as an official match. It was, like I said, it was back and forth with great style from Nakamura. I really like his style. I've watched a lot of his matches being in NXT. Dolph Ziggler, I really like his character. He does make a good heel. He's a talented athlete, great wrestler. I really think they could do more with Ziggler's character. You may not agree with me on this, but I really think that his style is a lot similar to HBK, given obviously the sweet chin music kick, and he seems to have the sex appeal with the ladies. Maybe those are two things that maybe have gotten me to think that way. But, I mean, I think he is a great performer. They really should do a lot more with him. Maybe this little rivalry with Nakamura will bring out the best of him. I certainly hope so. But like I said, generally that was a pretty good match. Great way to kick it off. And then the following match after that was SmackDown Tag Team Championship with the Usos defeating Breezango. Not a bad match. Didn't really like how they had Tyler Breeze come out with the whole holding the mop and then changing personas again in the middle of the match. The antics were funny leading up to the title match, which reminds me of like Edge and Christian shenanigans, where they would get to kind of throw off them, try to provoke them, throw them off their game. But when they got into the ring, though, they meant business and got her done. In this case, I don't know. I think they kind of lost the opportunity by doing those shenanigans. The creative aspect for WWE, I don't really get what they were thinking of at that point. So I gave that one a bit of a fail because of it. I think the match could have been a lot more effective if they had have at least, just left it wrestling, leave the shenanigans for maybe like a Raw or SmackDown type of match, given they're on SmackDown. But just like I said, that was my fail on that, was the fact that they just didn't really get me with the shenanigans in the ring, especially for a pay-per-view. So then Sami Zayn defeated Byron Corbin. Now, that was a great match. I anticipated it was going to be a great match. Sami Zayn, he's making a name for himself. I really like to see more of a push with him. Byron Corbin has been a great heel. I mean, again, he's showing a lot of potential, especially being a big guy. He can, hold his own. Winning the Andre the Giant Memorial one, that was a big stepping stone for him. So again, I hope they give him a big push as well. But like I said, that was a great match, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching that one. So right after that, they then had the Natalya, Carmella, Tamina defeating Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Women's division has been on fire. I have been really enjoying what they've done with the women's division. This whole revolution has turned around the women's wrestling. They're not just, nice looking ladies wearing skimpy, attire to entertain most of us men and women that are into that. They're actually showing that they can wrestle as well, which is a good aspect. However, I think this match kind of lost me. I thought it was boring. They didn't really do anything that struck me. You've got, on one hand, you've got the three powerhouses where you've got Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, who have all held the gold at some point, going against Natalya. Yes, she's held the gold many moons ago. Carmella's never held it, and Tamina, I think they've always seem to pass her over of being the gold. I mean, she's a tough lady. I mean, she would have to be with her father being Superfly Jimmy Snuka. So they kind of lost me on the match. They didn't really hit the target that I would have thought they would have with the entertainment level, being that they could have really have stole the crowd with phenomenal moves and everything. I get the storyline. You're trying to have one clique going up against another clique, but again, it kind of faded to black for me, especially with how they're even handling Becky Lynch. I mean, how do you go from her being the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion to now she's almost like a mat for all these women to step on? Like losing matches to Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, and she should be up there with the dominance, because she's been in the dominance with the Charlottes and the Paiges and Sasha Banks, but yet they seem, obviously Paige isn't really in the scene anymore, but Charlotte keeps getting her opportunities, Sasha keeps getting her opportunities, but Becky had one, and then they pretty much dropped the ball with that. And I don't know. I just don't get their creative on that aspect. I think Becky could be a really good champion again. Don't get me wrong. Naomi is great. It's time well spent with her being champ now. It was long overdue for her to win. But I just think they're dropping the ball with the whole Becky thing. I really hope they would do it. And again, with that match, with the tag, it lost me. I was bored. So then after that came the U.S. champ Kevin Owens defeating AJ Styles via countout. It was a great match, just like I would have expected it to be, with both those great wrestlers going at it. They've both been razor hot going in to those matches. But the outcome, for real, a count out, his leg gets stuck in the thing, and you're going to end it like that? Disappointing. I think that was a disappointing end to it. Kevin Owens still, he could have weaseled his way of, pulling his tights, or, a little, some way or another coming out of it. But the count out part, I think that's just a cheap way out of it. They could really do more with this rivalry and push it to its limit if they would just have kept it where double count out for that matter, where both of them knocked themselves silly. I mean, I would have more accepted that than, AJ gets stuck in the announce table and Kevin Owens just says, "Yeah, I'll take it and see you later, bye." It just doesn't seem, like a good ending to a good match, in my opinion. And if I recall, I thought, when Shane first took over SmackDown, his whole persona was that we're going to do things differently on SmackDown. We're not going to do this is how a championship match is going to end via countout. Well, if he said that in the past, why is it that this match ended in a countout? It should have, been resolved. So, I mean, don't say that you're going to not do that and allow that in your matches and then turn around and just say, yeah, whatever. No one's going to remember. WWE Universe is going to forget about that. That was, a couple of years ago. We're not stupid. We remember. We remember a lot of details that they think we don't. But like I said, it was a good match, just a disappointing end to a good match. Then came the second last match of the night, which was Luke Harper defeating Eric Rowan. And I thought that was a pretty hard-hitting match. Those two guys are obviously quite comfortable fighting against each other. They know each other quite well, being that they were in the Wyatt family together. I think they could do more with the rivalry. I would like to see it keep going. I think it was a really good match. I think they could do a lot more, maybe go further into depth of why Rowan feels that Harper should get punished for it when, it was only maybe 2-3 years ago he did the same thing and left because he was helping out Daniel Bryan, if you do remember. So I don't remember him getting too much consequences for it. But, maybe go into a little detail, dig a little bit into the past, bring up something that will keep the rivalry going and not just end it like that. So then the last match, the championship match, the one that most people were looking forward to. I was, certainly being a Randy Orton fan, I was looking forward to it. I'm not disappointed with the loss. Just make that clear. I am, like I said, a Randy Orton fan. I'm not disappointed with the loss. I was just disappointed on how they gave Mahal the win. Like, the Singh brothers should not have been a factor in the match. I mean, for a historic win for Jinder, to win it like that, that's, to me, it almost puts a tarnish on that victory of his. It was a big match, being him the first WWE champion coming from India. I think that is huge. I mean, it's a big historic thing, and they kind of put a fart in our faces by having the Singh brothers kind of help him out. Kind of tells me like he can't do it himself, that he needs them in order to get her done. And I don't think that should be the outcome. It should have been, sure, he could have weaseled the win out of Orton. He could have done it that way, maybe a little, shot to the groin, with the ref not looking, or rake to the eyes, something like that. But not having outside help for it. Not on a big win for that guy. I mean, he can be a great heel. You can already see it. I mean, he can probably rub people the wrong way. But to end it that way with them, they should have been tossed from ringside. They were already causing havoc. Referees, they always portray them as they're stupid, don't see it. Like, the ref should know. Get them out of there. Bye-bye. Shane should have had them removed. It's just the creative part that doesn't make sense on a lot of things when they do stuff like that. Same with the discrimination part of where it almost seems like Jinder has an issue with the U.S. people because they apparently don't like his country. I don't know where this is even coming from. And, you know, I'm Canadian. And it almost seems like us North Americans have some beef with him. And I don't know, to my understanding, when I watched the pay-per-view, they were cheering for him. They were glad he won. You know, I mean, yeah, they're shocked faces, but it was the effect that WWE wanted was, oh, you didn't expect him to win, did you? You know, sort of like Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker, you know, things like that. That's what the WWE is going to do. But, you know, the discrimination thing, they've done that in the past with Muhammad Hussein, and I'm going way back with this one. I mean, where's that guy now? That didn't seem to work out. Kind of, you know, was a bad timing when they did that with the whole 9/11 thing. You know, like, you don't need those type of storylines nowadays. I think it's uncalled for. I don't think it's a good message to especially send to the kids that, you know, this guy is, you know, insulting your country, so, you know, you have to dislike him. That's almost the impression they kind of give, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't matter about where you're from, you know, country-wise, race-wise, you know, even sexual preference. It shouldn't matter. I mean, the times have changed. You know, people are accepted more for who they are. Not. I don't really care about all that. All I care about is the guy good on the mic? Is he a good athlete? And, you know, is he going to make me like him or hate him? You know, and that's the point of it all, is, do you like the character or not? You know, is it getting your attention, or, you know, does it help with the ratings? All these factors. But to drop it that way with the Singh brothers, storyline with the discrimination, get it out of here. Get it out. Let the guy wrestle. He can do it. Let him be his own heel. You know, let him ride the ball for a little bit. Or, you know, are they going to drop him back to losing to Orton? I don't know. But I do like him beating Orton. I think it was a good way to make history. Orton's a good guy to drop it for somebody. You know. So those are my thoughts on Backlash. Now I want to hear what you thought of the pay-per-view, what you think of what my opinions are, you know, whether you agree or disagree. I want to hear it. Drop me some comments at the bottom, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe. This Bottomline chat, my bottom line, I want to hear yours. Take care.